always take in between? If yes, then this is the best time to reflect on the speaker's experiences and words and use it to make ourselves better. But if not, it's okay. This is also the best time to listen to our speakers and to instill in our hearts the learnings they want us to take. When we talk about passion, purpose, or pathway, it's hard. Honestly, it's difficult. Regardless of age, sometimes we just feel lost and empty. No matter how hard we try to make ourselves better, to make ourselves proud, sometimes we just feel like it's still not enough. And it's okay. It's alright to feel lonely sometimes because our feelings are valid. No matter how small it is, it's valid. And no matter how petty other people think the reason is, it's still valid because you matter. You will always matter. But of course, we need to know our limitations and work on it to improve ourselves. No matter what your passion is, it is very important because that is one of the reasons we continue to strive, we continue to survive. And if until today you are still looking for it, you are still searching for your passion that suits you best, I'm here with you. I want to remind you that there is no deadline in looking for your passion as long as you put effort in looking for it. That's what matters, and you should be proud of yourself. For those who are blessed enough to discover their passions earlier, embrace and own it because it's yours. It's meant for you. Right now, you are standing or sitting there listening to me because you have a purpose. And that purpose is not limited to what other people want you to achieve. It goes beyond the things you want to try for yourself. As they say, think and act outside the box. But do it with grace and dignity. Don't be afraid to explore all the good things for your benefit and discover new things that will strengthen your purpose. Always remember that no matter how hard and difficult your pathway may be, always see the good in it. Because through that hardships, there is always lessons that you can earn to educate yourself. You know what? PMDS education is one of a kind because many opportunities will open for everyone. It doesn't limit to those people or students who have high grades, but opportunities given by PMDS is equal and fair. You just have to be courageous enough to embrace and own that opportunity in order to grow and be the best version of yourself. As a PMDS alumni, I want you to experience the best years of your junior or senior high school life. I want you to experience the full ride, and it will only happen if you are willing to. Are you? Give your heart out and start it today by proactively listening to our brilliant alumni speakers. As I end my speech, and after the series of seminar will end, I want you to reflect on how you can be the author of your own life and not depend on what other people will say. Determine your driving force and use that to shine brighter, not just in PMDS, but in this world. Do all things with grace and dignity. let me take you to a place somewhere safe and serene. As I provide my contemplations, I'll let you wonder about the power of purpose, the power of education, and what it's like to be a purpose-driven individual. But before anything else, I want you to imagine this particular scenario that I'll share with you. Picture in your mind when you are in the pre-COVID era. You're a student and it's your first day of class. You wake up early in the morning and from there, had your daily routines. And after prepping everything, you're good to go. But you suddenly see your reflection in the mirror and you moved closely and smiled and without a doubt told yourself, I can do this. I know my purpose. This will all be worth it. If the mirror can talk, I'm sure you'll be highly praised. How magnificent it would be to be mainly driven by a purpose, from knowing the broad and narrow meaning of education to enlivening the power of purpose and goal setting. It could surely be the start of something great. As students, we crave it and perhaps suffer psychological distress in its absence. When we don't have a sense of purpose, we often get up in the morning doubting what we're going to do with ourselves. Our mind feels somehow in doubt and weak with a higher probability for negativity to take over. So we become less monofocused, like an arrow flying out of its target. And that's an immense struggle for us, especially in this new setup. Thus, we should live by our purpose to whatever angles in life. By that, I believe the sole purpose of giving importance to this is for us to be prepared for a future life and become well-rounded individuals. We need to equip ourselves with the necessary skills to land opportunities and be set to whatever circumstances we may encounter. My education serves as an empowering experience that aids me in conquering battles and that inspires me to nurture connections I made along the journey. As I've said, this education helps us become prepared for a future life. But what exactly are the things we need to consider for us to be ready and be fully equipped? For us to become resilient when difficulties sit in? Along with my reflections, I resolutely believe we desire to access education for reasons that strengthen our minds, enhance our skills, and develop our character. First, let's talk about our desire to become strong-minded. We should be able to foster critical thinking skills to form right and fair judgments. We should know when is the right time to talk and when is the right time to listen. We need to think thoroughly about the things that we are going to say. The knowledge we get is the weapon we can use, but we should constantly be reminded that the morals we absorb from them will be our shield and the shelter that keeps us sane despite any distress. Story time, I always end up laughing whenever I recall what the 5-year-old Shanilu said to her mother on her preschool graduation day. She was very disappointed when she only received one medal. With irritation, she suddenly murmured and said to her mother very naturally, Mom, first only naman kay ako, anong sarap ng medal? I know I was madly and inappropriately frank that time, but I believe that was a step towards something better. Over time, my views changed, and I now see the bigger picture because of what young Shano said. Even with or without awards and medals, the crucial part is that you've learned a lot that will back you up to grow, and that's a pretty impressive achievement. Secondly, our skills. We need to distinguish and discover our abilities, which are vital to discern what's within us, what passion are we really into, and what field suits us. Amid diversity, we find ourselves unique when we see each other's differences. That's a way for us to know that we have an exceptional trait and skill that's worth enriching. As we learn along the way, our knowledge will help us enhance our potentials and apply them soon to create a progressive community. When we are already set to decide on what path we will take, it's a choice that should belong in our hands, which will genuinely matter, a decision that will draw a future waiting for each one of us. And lastly, our character. We should be on trouble to open doors, welcome new opportunities, and build more connections. The character we develop should benefit ourselves and other people as well. A cultivated individual who contributes to society must have specific skills and attributes such as resourcefulness, critical thinking, compassion, patience, and grit. As a result, each characteristic gives growth and progress to a well-respected individual in a community. One of my favorite personality theorists was Rollo. He was likewise an existentialist, and he coined the term being in the world, or also known as dashan. He believed that each one of us has the intrinsic need to exist in the world, and the more robust this being in the world, or dashan, the healthier our personality. But the question is, how can we be able to develop our dashan? We only need to discover our potentials and values, and the best way to do is by experiencing each moment actively and spontaneously. In connection, I see education as one of the gateways to determine the abilities we needed to flourish and leading us to know that we are the center of our existence. When we develop them, we will meet people along the way, which will help us fulfill our inherent need to form personal relationships. By that, we will be able to affirm and assert our being in the world, even in the presence of social pressures, and finally, have a meaningful life. With the purpose being reverberated, I view the student as a crucial part of education. Therefore, I believe the purpose of education needs to be nourished within our ability to reason, interrogate, explore, evaluate, innovate, and vision what can be. In this way, we will become well-versed, refined, and contributing members of the indigenous and universal community. We are the product of our experiences, and the rest is to be entrusted into the educational system to develop a contributor to society's development. As a consequence, it drives me to leave you takeaways. Firstly, let your purpose be your guide. Just like anybody else, we feel lost when we are hesitant about what we are in. We doubt our second step, afraid to commit with an uncertain decision. Have you ever experienced a situation where you strive to fit in, but deep inside you really seemed lost? Have you ever answered your school tests without considering their importance, without even knowing the central point on why you should do it? Thus, a lesson we should always mind. Before engaging in something, we need to set our minds at peace with our purpose. Be reminded of it every time. Unexpected changes might happen, but I assure you, your purpose will guide you wherever you go. Secondly, let your purpose be your source of strength. We are fueled with the strength to whatever matters to us, and the power we build gives shelter to the dreams we have for them. For instance, our families and friends matter so much to us. That is why when we are in our downfalls, even their presence gives us the will to keep fighting because we still have dreams not worth giving up for. Our purpose of being a student has a bearing to combat any hardships, know where we belong, have a sense of meaning, and gain strength to hold onto our goals, having it shield us with courage and hope. And lastly, let your purpose be your reason to chase success. Knowing your purpose is a significant step, but having it your motivation towards success is already an achievement. Most of us are focused and our minds are rightfully aligned to what we yearn to conquer. But little bumps are always present in the road. Changes happen and adjustments are needed. As we go along with these new learning platforms, may we constantly remind ourselves that education will always have its place and our success will fulfill its purpose. To take everything into account, being a student is like mountain climbing as you go through perils and complications. Overcome them and you can see what it looks like at the top of the mountain. It is never easy, but always bear this in mind. Your purpose should motivate you to strive harder and aim higher. As a dreamer, passion will allow you to help yourself excel in whatever field you want to take sooner. You don't need to tell people that you are passionate about something. It will resonate with your discourse and action. Henceforth, when you move forward with your purpose, you can create a sense of meaning in your actions. When you decide to take a specific career, you chose that because you know you belong there. You understand the environments and communities that you benefit from connecting with. You can easily make choices because you know better when a situation fits your life and recognize why you are there and what you want to do. You will have a sense of self because it is as if you have purified your life down to its essence. Furthermore, you identify what to pay attention to and what is less significant. You'll feel your confidence because you know that as a learner, you are there for a reason and your contribution to society matters. That's how a purpose driven individual acts. Given that, fill your education with purpose and believe in its power. Listen to your heart's desires despite adversities. Embrace unanticipated changes and have the urge to fight for life. Eventually, I know we will all become that person in the mirror and courageously say, I can do this. I know my purpose. This will all be worth it. Thank you and have a great day. Good day.
This this pandemic has given us lots of worries. We're worried about our family, we're worried about how will the government efficiently handle this pandemic, and most especially we're worried about ourselves. What will happen to me now? How will I be able to keep through this? Like in these trying times, you're all wondering why we suddenly started to wander. When during the pre-pandemic, I mean not really everyone, but we were able to keep ourselves together. And the most difficult question to answer is how will you be able to find your own purpose in the middle of pandemic? To be honest, when I was given this topic, I was really confused on where and how to begin. And I myself is also still wondering. Because of this pandemic, I was not able to do the things that I really enjoy. I mean, I used to be really active in participating to PMDS different organizations. The PMDS Choir, the PMDS Dance Company, and I was even elected as a SSE officer. I must say I excel in those aspects, but I truly love doing what I did before. And unfortunately for me, starting my first year in college was nowhere near to how I envisioned it to be. I welcomed my freshman year with a smile to my professors inside a computer screen, truly different from how I expected my college journey would begin. And to be honest, my excitement and my motivation to do well just came crashing down. I became someone who Dr. Well despises. A mediocre student. I mean, I still submit my schoolwork on time, but I just do it for the sake of compliance. I still study, yes, that's a given in my course, but I don't think I even retained knowledge from my previous subjects, nor I don't even think I'm trying to remember those. And I even barely participate in their org activities, which was like a breath of fresh air for me from all the suffocating activities my teachers were giving me. Like all the optimism I had when I applied to my college admission just went away when online classes happened. It really is draining, just to be honest. I feel lots of this, which really happened to me before when I was in high school, and I even barely studied back then. Like getting reminded of all the praises I got from my family because of the accomplishments I used to have in high school sounds like an insult to me now. Like how can one academically inclined student be this disappointing? I used to think that this is just phase, that I'm just facing a slump. But why do I still feel the same that I am now, currently in my second year in college? No, I don't really want to mention my current course yet because it may change over time. But yeah, the longer I am in online class, the longer I am staying at home, the more I feel like I get burnt out. And the things I have envisioned for myself are starting to get really blurry now. So where are we going with this stuff? Like, How dare me talk about finding purpose when I am also still wondering. But yes, that's what I thought too when I first started reading this. It was already a challenge finding your own purpose even before the pandemic happened, but more now that we're currently facing this crisis. We're stuck inside our homes for a year now, and God knows how long are we gonna stay at home. And as for me, that's probably why I'm experiencing this lump. On why I think I'm wondering. We don't get to hang out with our friends physically, and for me, I don't get the chance to perform, be it on stage or be it to sing inside of church. But no, this is not the end of the world for me. That's what I think. That's what I thought. Human beings are not the smartest animals on earth, well, at least according to human standards, to not utilize the things we have at the moment and make use of the opportunity and staying at home. Like, why not use this chance to get closer with your family, right? And I even seen my friends excel in their crafts now, their own crafts. Some are even doing online businesses and whatever they chose to do, and they actually excelled at it. And me, tikpak lang good HR. But kidding aside, this pandemic may took a toll on us, but let's now allow it to completely swallow us wholly. And as for finding our own purpose in this pandemic, in the middle of the pandemic, we may find ourselves trying to help others. Like helping others would help yourself find your purpose too, be it spending time listening to your friends, giving them a shoulder to lean on, but since you're on the pandemic, video ko lang siyang pag-iwan, ha? Or just being kind. Just because doing so makes you feel like your life has meaning. Moreover, surround yourself with optimism because if you are surrounded by individuals who are making optimistic difference, you could be really inspired by them. And just like how the saying goes, you're the company you keep. And a support system is really important in this trying time. But try to do something like find your interests and discover what you actually love doing all by yourself. Think about what skills, abilities, and passions you have to offer. Like for me, the more I indulge in my course, the more I'm convinced that this isn't for me. And I'm really already in my second year now. You may think, sayang lang jud na siya. Course kasi yung ginikanan, ano siya sure yung course na. But no, back when I was in grade 12, I was really, really sure of what course to take. I even had a timetable already planned out on how I'll manage my college as I enroll in this course. There are things that you are really sure at first, and then boom, a sudden wave of realization hit you that you actually want something else. This isn't my passion, this is not what I see myself doing in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. And the situation we are in right now was one of the avenues to help me realize the things I turned a blind eye to. But yeah, try to consider how you might transform your passion into something worthwhile for you. Just be kind to yourself. Finding your own purpose, moreover, in this pandemic isn't something that can be done over a few days, weeks, or months. It is a lifelong journey and can only be done with release of hope and faith. Even if it's hard and tiring, don't give up, don't push yourself away. You just need time and afterwards, when you look back, tell yourself this, I did great. Finding one's purpose in the midst of pandemic might be a difficult task to figure out, but realizing that you have your family and friends with you all throughout to support you is something that is priceless. Realizing that you still wake up each morning, hear the rooster's crow, or even aksabas ng mama, to fulfill your purpose in life is another great thing. Indeed, even though we are enveloped with dark clouds, one could still see silver linings. And though, before I end this, let me read you an excerpt from my all-time favorite poem. This was introduced to us back then by Teacher Eds, and this poem is titled Desiderata by Max Raman. Beyond the wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You're a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. This pandemic has given us lots of worries. We are worried about
So, hello, good day everyone. It's good to be back. It's good to be talking now. It's been a while, so let me begin. Fueling passion with purpose through independent learning. Follow your passion. Follow your passion. Follow your passion. As a student, we often hear about this phrase being bombarded every time we try to make a choice on what to take on a degree or what career should we be entering. But as young individuals, are we aware of what compromises passion or what really is passion? We often fail to understand how important passion is and what connection it has between purpose and performance. To be honest, my perception of passion was my hobby. Mao dyan ako pagtungo sa una. I thought it is what I'm good at, but then as you grow older and step into a new different environment, you'll realize how shallow your perception and understanding were. Honestly, my first choice to at high school was to become an architect. Lagi, I thought I'm good at art, I love to draw, paint, and do creative stuff. But as I've entered PMTS, it was a fresh start, a really fresh start wherein you will become a better version of yourself. You will really have a lot of things to learn, not academically, but you as a person. You will discover a lot in yourself in the long run. Okay? What is amazing about the school, okay, it's not only focused on academics, personal development, and growth as well, which is really essential on finding your passion. Okay? Passions emanates from purpose. It would be an important factor in your success at work on or right now, no? A fact that is true even if you don't feel that you can accurately describe your purpose at this moment. Many of us right now don't know Pajut what is our purpose or passion. Lisod magod siya i-define, no? Maybe we don't know or we only have a little grasp kay lisod magod siya i-define, but according to better understand it, according to what I've read, look to the things that have captured your imagination or curiosity. Think back to the qualities of assignments, projects, and activities that you found most fulfilling na lami ko kay sa imong work ba na mahuman or lami kay sa hunahunahon ng mga experiences. So mauto no? As I've said, as with my experiences sa school, I've discovered what really drives me. Remember jud ko sa una na magbilin jud ko sa library katong sa ubos pa ang library sa PBA. Magpatubag jud ko ni Ma'am Emeline, si Chongson, ni Teacher Archie about jud ko sa among research and other parts, especially sa statistics. Okay? Yun pagod sa feeling na every step sa imong research, you are confident with what you're doing and you will learn kay magamit jud in the long run. Not only to yourself, as well as to others. And I'm proud to say na nakatabang jud ko sa akong mga classmates atong panahon na. Not only classmates, but friends from other schools, no? Nagito'y one time na Niyari sila diri sa mua niya naabtan mi kadlawon, hapit kadlawon in order to finish the research, no? It's something fulfilling jud sa akong part. So whatever I do, I try to achieve and learn in it the best way I can. So the habit of independent learning started when I was in KBS. And I'm proud to say I have brought it up with me up until now, especially in this current situation. So before this pandemic, freshman year, lahi ang approach sa college. Professors will not spoon feed you with all information. Naara dyan na nimo to do your part na mo apas. Dili mo na sila na ay waton sa ka o sa kamakaton. No. You really need to do extra effort when it comes to learning. Especially in our department, amo ang chair would always say loyo. L-O-Y-O. Dili YOLO ha? Loyo meaning learn on your own. Learn on your own, especially things na wala ni mo nasabtan or nasa inyong perspectives karon na wala discuss teacher. So, magkilakilak to po sa una, labi ng kalkilos ng hiskotan. But if I want to be an engineer, I should be striving more to learn. Okay, there will be a lot of activities that you need to learn on your own before siya i-teach sa imuha or dili to siya itudlo sa inyong professor. This is a way to help you finish your degree, especially with this setup. Hindi man pwede na hangtod na lang ka magsalik sa imong classmates or magsalik sa Google. What I meant about independent learning is not only on the academic side. If your passion is about helping others, you need to learn ways on how you can reach out to them, especially karon na pandemic. What are other ways? Currently, I am also a public servant. No? This world was very unfamiliar dun sa una, about politics and so, but I have the great responsibility to do my part and lead, no? I would admit na wala dyan may proper training to different makers to comply. But I love what I'm doing and I have a goal to really do something in the community through leading. So I've researched and learned how to make these documents. Dili ra kay sige maghuwat lang sa ako sa my training to learn, no? To do my part. No, do your part to learn without kana ganing mag-agad pas other people or mag-agad pas external forces kay at the end of the day, ikaw na may bulahan, no? Ikaw na may bulahan sa nakatunan. Wala man dyan sa yun, but if you're aiming for something, you are passionate of something, learning things that would help fulfill your purpose is very worth it. So don't just focus on how to achieve goals, but also on why those goals matter, no? Right now, take action. Learn everything you can about your passion. You have to be determined to learn everything there is to know about your passion and continue to gain knowledge. Read, talk to people, join organizations, and engage yourself. Know that there is always more to learn, and me myself, I'm also still learning. So that would be it. Thank you guys, and have a great day. So, hello, good day everyone. It's
Good day, my dear Petersonians, all for Jesus and Mary. As I am about to start my little talk, I just want to share my little experience with my time at PMTX. When I was at my grade 11 stage, I had experienced a lot, good times and bad times. At first, I was part of the honor students in the school, but then when time flies, I had been into a lot of drugs, been into drinking alcoholic, been into computer online gaming. Then resulted as I wasn't able to maintain my good grades anymore. Then at my grade 12 stage, there I had realized the mistakes I had done before. But I don't regret about it. Instead, I am motivated and challenged to make things better again. So I get back to focus and maintain what I'm supposed to. To conquer yourself means to dominate and take control of the difficulties you face. This is something that we as students can adapt as an ambition. The higher in rank, the more challenging the next level becomes. We hopefully advance learning how to control ourselves and the situation not merely overcoming a dilemma, but completely crushing all challenges but put before us. Overcoming adversity gives the impression that you struggled through the process and although you may have reached your goal, it was unpleasant and you're just happy for it to be over. Conquering a challenge means you're working so hard and with that passion that you almost enjoy the struggles that inevitably come with facing obstacles. Learning how to conquer yourself will allow you to enjoy the process, to triumph over challenges and lead you on the road to being the best of the best. Conquering yourself means to overcome any challenge that you face, which requires a lot of ambition, self-determination, and courage. Courage is probably one of the main components in conquering yourself. I think this is a life skill that everyone should learn and have. To conquer myself means that I must first surrender. Surrendering to those things that I cannot control creates capacity in my mind. It creates a space and energy that I can direct things I can control. Conquering myself means eliminating the voice that say you can't do it, you're not good enough, or you cannot do it. I laugh at them. Laughing gives me energy and confidence to surrender and to conquer again and again. For me, conquering yourself means freeing yourself from doubt and fear. In order to truly conquer yourself, you have to defeat the part of you that tells you that you aren't good enough. The best way to obtain this goal, as far as I know, is to gain confidence in yourself. I find my strength and confidence. The best way to obtain this goal, as far as I know, is to gain confidence in yourself. I find my strength and confidence in doing the things what I like the most because it makes me feel like I am someone worth defending. The most important thing that you cannot give up on yourself is yourself. As we get older, there is a lot about life that continues to change, and very little of it do we actually have control over. The only real thing we can control is how we react to situations as they happen. And to me, this is the big part of conquering yourself. Being a mature individual is more than coming to class and doing your first. It's learning to embrace all your rough jobs and be proud of your accomplishments, no matter how small or big or big. To conquer yourself means being disciplined, to push hard through the habits in order to structure better ones. No one ever regrets becoming a better person, meaning, for you to become a better person, you have to be strong in making your mistakes into lessons, making your experiences as the best teacher you could possibly have. Thank you and have a great day ahead, Patriots. Soar higher, shine brighter, Patriots. Good day, my dear Patriots, all for Jesus and Mary. As I am about to start my little talk, I just want to share my
A great afternoon, Patriots. This day marks the second virtual session of our fellow alumni, Shannon Barbaquillo, with her topic, Purpose-Driven Education, Reese Stacy Ubanan, with her topic, Finding Purpose in the Midst of Pandemic, Angela Clara Ruiz, with her topic, Fueling Passion and Purpose Through Independent Learning, And lastly, by Archie Salem with his topic, The Continuous Quest for Meaning, and all of these topics tackle the theme, passion, purpose, and pathways, reflections in education resilience. The session today focuses on purpose. Purpose is essential to resilience because the ability to adapt positively is what purpose is. It is to learn and grow from experiences and keep going toward our goals. Research studies indicates that if we live with purpose, we're also apt to live longer, have better health, and make better lifestyle choices. It makes sense, doesn't it? If I have a compelling reason to get up every morning because I have something I enjoy doing and feel that my work is important to others, I'm probably going to take better care of myself so that I can do that to the work by the best of my abilities. And yet, many of us struggle to answer the question, what should I be doing with my life? What is my purpose? Some people seem to know their life directions out of the gate, but I think most of us explore a few things ahead, hit some dead ends, and take a few detours as we go through life. One thing that can lead to discouragement on this journey is that the belief that each of us has one purpose in life, and that if we could just figure out that one thing, we would then be happy for the rest of our life. There's so much to talk about finding purpose, and yet purpose as a way of finding us, rather than the other way around. So while we're impatiently going from one thing to another in search of meaning, it's usually in front of us. We may only see it dimly or just catch glimpses from time to time, but it's there. What we learn from our fellow alumni today will become a tool or a beacon for us to slowly pave our way in finding purpose and meaning in this life. Thank you, Patriots, for listening in today's session. Take care always and God bless. Soar higher and shine brighter, Patriots.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today's talk allowed us to have an in-depth conversation about the goals and achievements that come with education and the different purposes it entails. Although it is honestly quite a struggle for our fellow Filipino brothers and sisters all throughout the country having to find this purpose in the midst of this pandemic, most obviously due to the physical limitation and the medical danger we are faced with the virus. Nonetheless, despite the hardships, we must learn to continue to fuel our passions with education and learning as it is and will always be our outlet to a brighter future, to a future of opportunities. Whatever path we may tread upon, whatever school we shall study in, and whatever job we may land in the future, we must always never lose sight of the meaning to our goals and dreams. Thus is the product to the continuous quests that we all partake in, which are our lives. A grand thank you to all of our speakers today, Ms. Shanino Bardatillo, Ms. Reese Stacy Obana, Ms. Angela Clara Roy, and Mr. Archie Sala. Thank you to our faculty and all others in the management process of today's talk. And thank you everyone for attending the second day of our virtual learning session. Once again, wash your hands, observe health protocols, and stay safe in this pandemic. Soar higher, shine brighter, make
We are Palestinians, we're shining, walking by faith, serving with gladness. We are Palestinians, we are sorry. We were born with dreams and dreams to be great. We entered her portals with these dances and glam. With fears and insecurities, we light and faith. We embrace the challenges and live with them. Growing in love, illuminating the world. We are pages and yes, we're shining. Walking with faith, serving with gladness. We are pages and yes, we are sorry. Clueless folks were welcomed with empty places, greeted the strangers and friendless faces. Armed with high hopes, we kept the faith strong. Brave and fire, we found our home. We belong. Growing in love, illuminating the world. We are Palestinians, we're shining, walking with faith, serving with gladness. We are Palestinians, we are sorry. We became a family, and we'll always be. Going through transformation, we are grateful. Treasuring memories, enjoying victory. As major Syrians, we are born to win. To rule, growing in love, illuminating the world. We are pages and yes, we're shining, walking with faith, serving with gladness. We are pages and yes, growing in love, illuminating the world. We are pages and yes, we're shining, walking with faith, serving with gladness. We are pages and yes, we are sorry. We are sorry, Palestinians.